Hello, good friends. Adam Stevens, life and well-being coach from St. Louis, Missouri. Welcome to this teaching. This is my self-care transformation guide. It's called the 6 Laws of Wellbeing. It's a pretty simple teach. I will try and keep this to 10 minutes. I'm long-winded, I ramble, I'm deep, I'm philosophical. So if you want the long stuff, the really longer teachings, just go to Apple or Spotify and check out the Adam Stevens Coaching Podcast, which is where I talk extensively and a lot longer and sometimes have guests and whatnot to talk about this stuff. So anyway, I will start with my own story, which is if you go to my website, you can read my story. I'm an allied health practitioner. I've been working in healthcare for about 15 years. And if you read my story, in 2010, I weighed over 300 pounds, daily smoker. In the past, I had a history of heavy drinking, alcoholism and addiction. And I have found a way over the last 15 years to get my life back on track and learn to practice self-love, learn to take care of myself. And that's a huge part of what I do. So remember, my business is, my tagline is health, mindset, soul. So I work with people on those 3 pillars, physical health habits, sleep, different things, mindset work, which is where we build a philosophy for our life. We have a personal life philosophy based on a set of core values and our life purpose and our life mission. And then the soul stuff is the really deep meditative mindfulness, contemplative prayer, whatever your sense of spirituality and faith is. I get in there and I meet you in that, and I kind of prescribe some practices to help you grow in that area of your life. So without further ado, law number 1 is there are no hacks, there are only habits. So one of the things we see in wellness, which I just hate the term wellness now because it's attributed to supplements and fitness and having abs or looking a certain way or being thin. And there's so much body shaming and fat shaming and just really shame involved in these messages. So if that's, if you've had struggles with that in the past, just all that health, fitness, wellness, some of these terms and the way they're being portrayed in our culture, just put that in your in your recycling bin, delete it now, right? Just delete that. You don't need to worry about that. So there's no hacks, there's only habits. You're not going to read a book and figure out how to fix your gut health with certain probiotics or do the ketogenic diet or use bulletproof coffee or certain vegan supplements or whatever. There's no hacks, there's no easy way. It's just habitual. It's showing up every day and taking care of yourself. And that involves meal planning, it involves prepping, it involves, going to the grocery store, right? For me, in our family, it involves having a big grocery pickup on the weekends, and then going out sporadically through the week to get fresh produce. We're produce snobs. I don't like to eat crummy lettuce. I like to get fresh stuff, It's also involved me and my wife buying back our time, right? So that's where you spend a little bit more money on things that are convenient, and you're doing that to take care of yourself because you're working a lot or whatever, and we've both tried to really phase back. We're not workaholics. We're not corporate people. Both my wife are in service sector jobs. We're both in healthcare. We both show up every day in different facets through, I do a lot of health and life coaching, well-being coaching, but, I still throw in scrubs from time to time. I still have all of that medical knowledge and all of that passion for allied health and serving people and helping people get healthy. So I'm buying some of my time back, A big thing that I've been doing as of late is doing more plant-based stuff because it's so easy to meal prep with plants, right? All right, maybe you have like a veggie burger or you have some beans and rice or whatever. It's just much easier to prep veg dishes because you can put them in a slow cooker or an Instant Pot and just prep up a bunch ahead of time. And it's good. It's comfort food. Starchy foods are comfort food. So, that's law number 1. There's no hacks. There's only habits. You just got to do the work. You just got to, all the people, when you see people that are healthy and they're happy, that didn't happen by mistake. They habitually set up their life in a way that they can feel good. Law number 2 is that the habits have to be based in self-love. So much of what we're doing, that American drive, that prowess, just make money, do things, materialism, get her done, kicking ass and taking names. So much of that is based in self-hatred. So much of that is based in, I'm not enough now, I need to achieve more, I need to earn more. What you're really priming in your self-conscious is, I need to earn things, I need to earn love, I need to earn respect, I need to earn peace, right? And that's not true. If you're not enough right now, you'll never be enough. So you have to learn to just accept yourself as you are. This is an enormous part of growing in your spiritual awareness, your self-awareness, and getting, healthy, getting, I like the term well-being, right? It's not physical health and mental health. It's completely gelled together. If you're not physically healthy, you can't be mentally healthy. And if you don't have good, strong mindset and you're not mentally healthy, you won't be physically healthy. So they're not they're not isolated realms. They completely go together, right? So make sure your habits are based in love and not shame. That involves accepting your body. It involves loving yourself. It involves eating all foods in moderation and not being obsessive with dieting, which is hard to do. I was morbidly obese. I weighed over 300 pounds, right? So I had to make some major interventions with my health crisis, right? And that involved dieting down and doing some stuff. But be really careful because it's hard to find a soft landing with the dieting approach, right? So love yourself as you are, enjoy the journey, find some inner peace, and watch how fast your body starts to feel better, okay? Number 3, exercise purely for happiness and mental health. Exercise for relaxation, to blow off steam. I have a good friend who calls this getting the goop out, getting the gunk out, right? Right behind me, I have my Proform bike, right? I use a Peloton app. I do yoga. I lift heavy weights a lot. I was never one of those guys that thought I wanted to be a power lifter or a bodybuilder, but I tell you what, powerlifting is awesome. And I don't count reps anymore. I just get in there and wherever my spirit takes me. Like yesterday, I went in, I wanted to lift heavy. I was feeling kind of anxious and irritable, had a few issues with bad night's sleep. So I went in and I was just pumping some iron. Some heavy sets, but really it was just moving around. It was just a few exercises, right? I did some wide grip bench press. I did some close bench grip press. I did some face pulls, some tricep push downs. I did a little bit of cardio. And then the good part is I went to my gym locker room and I got in the hot tub and then I sat in the steam. And I have kind of a spiritual practice that goes with sitting in the steam, right? There's something really good about really getting your body heated up and then going in a state of mindfulness or prayer, making intentions, praying for other people. You have to understand when you focus on self-care and when you're doing your own inner healing work, you are healing the universe. When you address your own suffering, you put less of it into the world. People are connected to that. So you're like a lotus flower. You're healing your own suffering. You're offering that peace to the world. Hurting people are attracted to that, and you've got to learn through your boundaries, but you can be a great healer. Just as an average, everyday person, as a life coach, I'm trying to really alter the consciousness of the world. I'm trying to make the world better, to help heal people, to help people find calm and peace, right? So law number 4 is you're not a victim. You have to take personal responsibility. And this is the more futuristic, positive psychology, life coaching coming out of me, right? You're not a victim. Victims have no power. There may have been times where things happened to you where you were victimized, particularly as a child. There is absolute evil in our world. There are things that should not happen, right? So I'm not like completely blowing off people's old experience or their trauma, but usually as an adult, we are not victims, right? We have to take responsibility. You aren't stuck in that job. You could leave if you wanted to. You aren't stuck in toxic relationships. You can work through these things. You can work on your boundaries. You can ask for your needs to be met. You can ask to meet with a coach or a neutral party or a counselor or anybody to help you work through these relationships, right? So it's really what you got to understand is our ability to relate to other people is an amazing skill. I call it the master hack, right? I say there's no hacks, but there's only habits. But really, if you can learn to really relate well with people and maintain your boundaries and maintain your own peace, then people will feel good around you. Your relationships will be better. You become a really powerful person. Seek and you shall find. The knock on the door will be open. You can find peace in the world if you seek it, if you're willing to work on yourself. So number 5 is wellness is about worthiness. Well-being and self-care is about worthiness. You have to know that ultimately this is your life. These are your philosophies. These are your core values. You need to show up in the world in a way that supports your health, right? And no one else can do this work for you. What I have found is people that really let themselves go, they're struggling with morbid obesity or they're into drug addiction, alcoholism, smoking cigarettes, self-sabotage, all of these behaviors. Most of the time that has to do with a lot of hurtful experiences in the past and a lot of trauma, maybe emotional neglect, struggles. Could be that you went through a bad divorce, you were gaslit, you were in a toxic relationship with some other person that was very wounded, and you just cyclically just continued to wound one another. So wellness is about worthiness. You have to realize, hey, you're not a victim, and that I'm gonna show up for myself. I'm gonna build a beautiful and amazing life for myself, and that's gonna involve accepting my body as it is, but it's gonna involve buying the salad. It's gonna involve meal prepping. It's gonna involve lifting weights, doing yoga, doing Pilates, going for walks in nature, sitting and meditating, right? So remember when I said the habits have to be based in self-love? Well, that kind of wraps into this law of that, you are worthy of doing this work. I say you're worthy of your work, right? I always tell that to my clients. The final law number 6, is be here now. It's about mindfulness. It's about this very moment. The reason you future trip is because you're not peaceful here. You still are out there. I need to fix this. I can rest when I fix this. I'll feel good about myself and loved when I fix this. And we get right back into that self-hatred loop, right? And we just continue to hurt ourselves. The world hurts us, and then we re-wound ourselves over and over and over. So be here now. This moment is enough. I'm looking in the camera at you, whoever you are, right? Or if you're listening to this on the audio, you are already enough. You have inherent worth. You are here because the universe thought the universe needed you. The universe was like, hey, you know what we need? We need a you, whatever your name is, right? The universe needed an Adam, so here I am. You are a sacred entity. You walk on sacred ground. You have a direct connection to a loving source, God. You have a direct connection to that through your breath, through your spine, through your nervous system. You have a direct connection to complete peace. Total, absolute, non-conceptual love. I call it non-conceptual love because as humans, we aren't always capable of unconditional love. We have conditions and we hurt one another. This is complete and utter peace, complete acceptance. And it's in finding that self-acceptance in this current moment, right? Like this morning, I sat down, I prayed a little bit. I have prayer beads. These are red, these are roots. So these are very like earthy power. And I prayed this morning, right? And I just sat down and tried to find the stillness. And you can find that stillness. Like I said, you're worthy of your work. You shine like a diamond. You are a brick of gold in the eyes of this cosmos. So don't forget that. You're sacred. Your life is sacred, as is everybody else. We're all walking around here. Yes, we hurt. There's no such thing as enlightenment. None of us will fully transcend suffering, but we're worth trying. And you could show up on a regular basis. And what if we could get rid of 90% of the suffering? And then we could grow, right? So it's in the be here now, be in those spiritual moments. Accept the fact that your life is sacred and that you're worth doing this. So I'm glad you checked out this teaching. As always, Adam Stevens Coaching Podcast. You can find me on all the places where podcasts are. You can go to adamstevenscoaching.com, read more about my story. Look forward to my newsletters. I don't spam. I send them out about every 3 weeks. And if you want, you can reach out to me and I can work with you one-on-one. I do what's called the Ultimate Wellbeing Program. It's a 6-month intensive program. You get to work with me one-to-one through email in really powerful 90-minute deep coaching sessions where we really get to the bottom of the stuff. I give you a lot of time to blow off steam, reorient yourself, and then from that really positive and chill and calm place, we create the life you want. So thanks for tuning in. Have a good day, guys.